everyone, I'm Rachel Del Doso. I used to work in the nursery at Emmanuel with the babies and in the preschool room, and so I know a lot of you from when you were littler. Now I am a therapist, so I help people feel better about hard things that they've been through, and I'm going to read you a little bit of a challenging book about whiteness called Not My Idea, written and illustrated by Anastasia Higginbotham. So, when grown-ups try to hide scary things from kids, oh no, not again, she's watching the news. What, Mom? What, not again? It's usually because they're scared too. Who is that with their hands up? Why is that policeman screaming at him? How do you think she's feeling? Yeah, I think she's feeling worried. Bang, 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 bang. The grown-ups want to bury the truth. You don't need to worry about this. You're safe. Understand? No. The mom says, our family is kind to everyone. We don't see color, like the color of people's skin. Deep down, we all know color matters. And this is her drawing about what she saw. If you want to make a drawing, it would be good to make a drawing about what you've been hearing about on the news, and maybe you can write down some questions that you have to ask a grown-up that you love. Or if any of you want to talk with me on Zoom about any questions, I'll be happy to talk to you. Skin color makes a difference in how the world sees you and in how you see the world. I want to bring my aunt a gift. This will only take a minute. So they go into the store, and it says, it makes a difference in how much trouble seems to find you or let you be. Notice, which way is this security guard looking? Towards the person with lighter skin or darker skin? Yep, he's looking towards the person with darker skin. And this is because people who run stores or who are security guards sometimes follow around people with darker skin or assume that they're going to steal things. But do you think that that is kind, to assume that somebody will steal just because they have darker skin? No, I don't think it's kind either. In stores, in cars, on sidewalks, at school, your skin color affects the most ordinary daily experiences, including which neighborhoods welcome you. So sometimes people with darker skin don't feel welcome in a neighborhood or school if it's mostly people with lighter skin there. The mom says, so relieved you got here safely. Why wouldn't we? The protests! Marchers came to demand justice for the unarmed African American. They demand an end to killings across the nation, part of a shameful pattern that has claimed the lives particularly of young men of color. Marchers reference past victims in a video taken by a bystander. So what that means is that there was a protest about people of color being harmed or killed by police. And they're marching to say, stop killing us. And this person with lighter skin says, they're blocking the road. I'm wondering, what's more important? People being safe and not getting killed, or people having to wait in traffic? Which one seems like it's more serious or more important to you? You may get the message that racism is happening only to black and brown people. Racism is a white person's problem, and we are all caught up in it. That police officer was just doing his job. I can't watch the news, mostly by refusing to look at it. Come away from the TV now. Look, I made your favorite. You can face this. And she's listening, and she hears, racial justice. We must step up. Justice is like doing what's right. Understanding the truth takes courage, especially a painful truth about your own people, your own family. And she says, are you all right? And how does that girl look? How is she feeling? What is she thinking about? When I first learned about racism, I felt really sad and I felt really guilty. And my first instinct was to say, I didn't do anything wrong. But when I learned more, I realized that I can definitely help to put an end to racism, and it doesn't make me bad that this is how I learned to see the world. But I can unlearn the things that are harmful. So this says, even people you love may behave in ways that show that they think they are the good ones. So she's in her car and there's some people outside the car that have darker skin. And what's she doing? What do you notice? What's she touching? I'm not sure if you know what that is. And she's grabbing onto her wallet. So she's grabbing her wallet and she's locking her car. That's something that people with lighter skin do sometimes when they're around people with darker skin. And maybe nobody ever told us to do that, but maybe we saw our mom or our dad do it a lot of times, and they might have told us to do it to stay safe, but it's actually racist because that means that we're assuming that people with darker skin are going to harm us or that they are bad. Do you think that's okay to do? How would that feel if people assumed you were going to steal from them or you were going to hurt them? Racism was not your idea. You don't need to defend it. You can bring your own curiosity to learn about it and see that it's true. I'll be over here if you need me, okay? In the United States of America, white people have committed outrageous crimes against black people for 400 years. All along, every step of the way, people who love justice and love each other have been fighting back. And I think that you are probably people who love justice, love doing what's right, and love each other, love people. It says many white people did things they should have never done, like deny opportunity, so not allow black people to get bank loans to buy a house, denied housing, so this is a notice of eviction, which means like you need to leave your house, and denied voting rights. So still today this is going on, that people of color are being people are trying to stop them from being able to vote. And people are fighting back against that right now. Many other white people failed to see the problem with this. And so these choices put wealth and power into white hands, homes, and neighborhoods. And this is a black woman taking care of a white baby as like the nanny. And it says they exploited the love and labor of black women. So a lot of times people who have darker skin don't get paid enough, and people with white skin are the ones who are not paying them correctly. It says some white people joined the leaders of black liberation. Liberation means love and freedom. So these are some examples of people who joined. So Angelina Grimke and Sarah Grimke, they're abolitionists who are fighting against slavery, suffragists, which were fighting for the right to vote, and sisters. This is Julian Bond and members of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which is like a group of people who work together. These are nuns who are spiritual leaders, kind of like Pastor David, except they're women, and fellow marchers who were protesting on the Selma to Montgomery March, John Lewis and fellow demonstrators who are kneeling, and then Colin Kaepernick, who kneels now. He kneels against police brutality against black people. Racism is still happening. It keeps changing and keeps being the same. And yet, just being here, alive in this moment, you have a chance to care about this, to connect. But connecting means opening. And opening sometimes feels, she says, our car's parked over here, love, like breaking. What is breaking? Yeah, her heart is breaking. And my heart breaks too for people who are black or brown with darker skin who are treated in such unfair and cruel ways. And it breaks my heart, just like it breaks her heart. And she says, Mom, I don't feel good. Uh-oh, should I pull over? I need to know what's going on. What are you talking about? Why didn't anyone teach me real history, like what really happened? I do see color. I see yours, mine, and everybody's. You can't hide what's right in front of me. I know that what the police officer did was wrong. And the mom says, okay, geez, you don't have to yell. You might hear people doing that. When people tell people not to be mad about unfair things that happen to black people, that's also racist. And it says, go with your instincts on this one. Racial justice is possible, but only if we're honest with each other and ourselves. She gets out of the car and she says, I see a playground over there. Want to get some air? Yes? And she gets out and runs over past all these girls with darker skin. Your history is not all written yet, which means that you still have a choice of what impact you make in the world. And you have the power to put an end to this and to make things right. So what do you want it to say? So what do you want your history to say? Do you want it to say that you fought against racism and you worked hard to change things? Do you want it to say that you did brave things because they were the right thing? When you're older, you might have children, you might have grandchildren, and what do you want to tell them about what you did during this time when black and brown people were treated unfairly by society, by everybody, but also by institutions like police and government and even schools? What do you want to do about it? That's what I want to hear. I want to hear how you feel about it. What do you want to do about it? And what questions do you have? So definitely ask your moms and dads, or moms or dads, any questions that you have. And feel free to reach out if you want to ask me any questions. I know this is a hard topic, but it's so very important. And if you are a person with lighter skin who considers yourself white, it can feel surprising if you haven't learned about this before. But it's very important. And people with darker skin know about this since they are like 2 and 3 years old. They know that they get treated differently, and we have the privilege of not even knowing about it because it doesn't happen to us. But just because something isn't happening to us doesn't mean that we should just look the other way and not help them. So I'm really happy I got to share this story with you, and I'm excited to see the things that you do to change the world, because you are powerful, you are strong, you are creative, and I know that you love justice and that you love people. So go on and make a change in the world. Bye.